Hello everyone. It's great to be here today. So today I want to talk to you about you have to have time, time management. So do you struggle to find time for your business? Do you struggle to find time for your business? Hi, I'm Sara Basloe. I help entrepreneurs at heart find the business that is a fit for them, and I coach them to success. And if you stay with me to the end, I have a bonus for you. So I have three questions that I wanted to ask you tonight about. And the first one is your business or your job or whatever it is you're working on, is it a hobby for you? Or is it a business? The second question is, do you do your business in your spare time? We're kind of talking about distractions. And the third thing is, how consistent are you? So I'm going to dive into those three questions in more detail. So is your business a hobby or is it a business? And it really comes down to that I've noticed is your why. What is your motivation? Why are you spending your time the way you're spending it? And that has a big impact on how you decide how you spend your time. The other part of deciding whether this is a hobby or a business is understanding that your time does matter. And again, it is about you deciding if this is important enough to you that it's not just a hobby. Whether you do it 5 hours a week or you do it 60 hours a week, you decide if it's a hobby. So the second question is, do you do your business in your spare time? So distractions make a difference. I'm reading this book called The Happiness Advantage, and I think you have probably heard me talk about this book. Actually, yesterday on my live, I talked about it. It's Happiness Advantage by a gentleman named Shawn Achor. Tonight, I wanted to share with you a story that he told in his book. He calls it the story of Ken. And I thought, wow, this is so true for myself, for my coaching clients, for the people I work with in my business, on my team. What was interesting was Ken talked to Shawn about how he's always feeling stressed and cannot get his work done. And so Shawn said, let's take a look at how you manage your day. And it was very interesting because Ken said, well, I really work really hard. So he comes into his office, he does his email, then he checks his stocks, then he checks social media, then he checks something else, then he does maybe 5 or 10 minutes out of an hour of work. So when you're an executive and a manager or a leader in your business, spending 5 or 10 minutes, an hour, can't possibly get the job done. So you really want to be careful about your distractions. What you think are things you're just taking a couple minutes to go check does not work. And what you really might want to do is actually read The Happiness Advantage. I got to tell you, love that book. So the next question, the third question I asked you was, how consistent are you? So you have to make time. It's the bottom line. You have to make time. Time is a commodity. You never gain it back. When it's gone, it's gone. You can't say, okay, I'm going to read this book, and then you don't. You can always come back to the book. But time, if you say, I'm going to use this time for something, and you don't use it for that, you cannot recapture that time. So you have to make time for your business. Whether it is 5 hours, 2 hours, or half an hour, you have to make time. But here's the thing, you have to make it a priority. You have to schedule it so that when you do schedule it, you do it. You don't just kind of push it off, do it at another time. Oh, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. It's on my calendar to call customers. You say, you know what? I think I'll do that later in the afternoon. It's probably better for me to reach customers later, but then you don't get to it. So execute your work when you've got it scheduled. I often use a kind of a mental tool with clients, coaching clients, and I ask them, who is someone you would have an appointment with that you would never, ever miss? Often people will say, a mentor, or sometimes a parent, or someone they work with, someone they admire. I say up the game a bit. I usually say Tony Robbins. I work for Tony Robbins, and I would never miss a meeting with Tony. So schedule something with someone that you know you won't miss. Hello, by the way. Hi, Sue. Great to see you here. Thanks for joining me. So whether it's 5 minutes or 5 hours, be sure to schedule the time in your calendar. Now, time blocking, I'm just a huge fan of time blocking. And I like to time block my calendar for 2 weeks at a time. And what I mean by that is I actually have a time blocking template. So I have an outline of what I have to do on an average week or an average 2 weeks. I always put in real life stuff first, and it is a must for you to do that. You must put in your real life tasks first, and then put in your work. So real life, I find with myself and clients as well, is that can be from 5 in the morning till 9 in the morning. But after that, it's get down to work. Focus on the business, not the hobby. So schedule your work into your calendar and make sure it's real life stuff first, and then the other priorities get scheduled and get done. That's the other thing. There's a saying that when you schedule something, it gets done. When you don't schedule it, you don't do it. So be sure to schedule your business tasks in your calendar. Get organized with a digital or a paper calendar. Do not try to keep it all up here because you got a lot going on. I am sure you are really busy. And so you want to make it easy for yourself. Just put the information in a digital calendar or a paper calendar. That way you won't double book, or you won't spend your time trying to remember everything. Much easier, so much more effective. And I'm sure you already know that. The other thing I like to suggest for being consistent is using a memory jogger. And that's a notebook where you put information in that you're going to use all the time. Like here's a notebook that I use. As you can see, it was very handy. So it's got important information that I need at my fingertips. And I don't have to go kind of rooting through my computer filing cabinet in my computer to find a document or something or some information that I use on a regular basis. So that helps you be consistent. When you schedule your work tasks, when you're organized, when you're time blocking, that all helps you to remain organized. So another tip I want to share with you is squeeze in every possible minute you can to do your work. I don't mean squeeze it in so that you're not spending time with your family or having some personal time, but give up TV, stop reading the newspaper, stop chatting endlessly on the phone. You can always do this. When you're hyper successful, you will have plenty of time to do these other things. And another thing is let people know that you have a business and you are unavailable during work hours so that they're not another distraction for you. Spend your time with your friends on the weekends or your family in the evenings. Be efficient during the day and your evenings are yours. That's what I do. So, well, except I'm here tonight. There are some things that kind of get pushed off too. So this may have nothing to do with time management, but it certainly can add to your success. So I know I mentioned a bonus at the beginning of this, so I want to tell you that I have the bonus that if you would private message me, I will send you 6 tips for creating your own business, how to be your own boss. I will send you 6 of the most valuable tips to help you get started or take your business to the next level. Tip number 3, as a teaser, is burn the boat. To move into your life, you want to burn the boat and keep going. Don't look back. If you've had a feeling that you are saying no to something that you really, really want to say yes to, private message me for my 6 tips on having your own business, how to create your own business. If you're in a corporate job or just any job and crave a new path, these tips can be especially helpful for you. Private message me to receive your 6 free tips on how to be your own boss. And have an outstanding day. Bye for now.